We have tremendous storms here at Lake Tahoe, as everybody knows, and we can have 3 or 4 feet fall overnight. It can be multiple days, and so I certainly have experienced that feeling of being snowed in and pretty much trapped. When I was younger, it didn't matter. Now that I'm older, it definitely matters. We had some really tremendous, they used to call them, they call them atmospheric rivers now. And it'll snow for days on end. And snow removal up here, people think it'll take place immediately, but it doesn't. I reached out to my wider community via social media, letting people know that I was by myself and I might need help. And basically you just sit and watch it snow and snow and snow and hope that you're not going to have a medical emergency that needs to get you to the hospital right away. And it's pretty unnerving if you have chronic conditions like I do, that you might not be able to get help when you need it the most. And I have a really great network in town. I've been here so long, since dirt, really. A lot of my students still live here. Our fire chief was one of my students. Our head of our medical clinic was one of my students. And so I have a deep network of people, which is really helpful. But when I reached out on social media, I got a lot of answers back with phone numbers, which I wrote down. And if I needed help, I would call someone and say, I can't get out my front door, which happens fairly regularly up here. If you monitor weather sites, you know when a big storm is coming in. And it's very frightening to me. It didn't used to be. I used to sit in my classroom and we'd all place bets of when it was going to first start snowing. Now it's a threat to me because I have to be able to get out. I can't be trapped. So days leading up to those storms are very scary to me. It makes me really, really nervous. And so I prepare. I make sure I have all my lamps, my portable lamps. Everything has to be charged up, my phone charged up, because I'm afraid. I'm terrified I'm going to be trapped here and need to get out. It's terrifying because you're here by yourself. And if nobody can get to you, then what are you going to do? There are times when I have to get to the hospital because of blood clots. And I wake up in the morning panicky, really panicky, feeling panicky. First thing I do is make sure the power is still on, which sometimes it's not. I have a battery for my CPAP machine, and I also have backup for my oxygen. But and at that point, I will probably call someone and just let them know that I'm in, I need to be shoveled out because our snow removal people don't get here on time usually. It can take up to all day long, and I can't get out of my garage because of the berm is so high. Maybe you'll do a pass through where they can get vehicles through the parking lot, but there's no way I can get my car out. It would be difficult for an ambulance to get here, which has happened a number of times. I was helping my next door neighbor one time, and she had a medical emergency, and she had a really difficult time getting through the snow to get to her. So things shut down when we have these big snows that we have almost every winter.
And how often does the power not come on in those circumstances?
Oh, we have real power issues up here. Sierra Pacific has done a lot of work to harden our lines, but I would say we lose the power at least 2 or 3 times in the winter, and not unusually in the summer as well. Anywhere from a few hours to a couple of days.